It's always been a bit of a surprise to me that Honda have not sold millions and millions and millions of cars in this country because, quite frankly, they ought to do. Their cars are brilliantly built, solid, reliable, hold their value well, and are capable of going on and on and on. Yet Honda's sales figures in this country are, well, okay-ish. And this week on Motor Week we look at, well, the NSX apart, the rarest Honda on our roads, the CRX. So what does a CRX look like? Well, this. It's basically a two-door coupe version of the popular Civic. So it's small, lightweight and nimble, and quite a rare sight. Existing owners don't like parting with their CRXs. This is a 1992 J-Reg CRX and it's done about 35,000 miles. When this car was new, it cost about £15,000, so not exactly a cheap motor. And it's not particularly cheap now either. £5,500 you'd have to pay for this 8-year-old example. There are three different CRXs to look out for. There's the fixed head coupe, there's this, which is the Targa roof, and there's also a version with an electric Targa roof. Now, we recommend you don't go for the electric Targa roof version simply because it took about 20 different electric motors to make the roof work, and inevitably they used to go wrong from time to time, and that's just going to cost you money. Specification on the CRX is pretty good. It includes power steering, air conditioning, and electric windows and mirrors. It's strictly a two-seater though, with not much room in the car or the boot. Early CRXs built before 1992 were 2+2s, but even then hardly roomy. On later cars you had the choice of two 1.6 engines with either 125 brake horsepower or the VTEC with nearly 160 brake horsepower. By the way, don't confuse the CRX with the Civic coupes because they're not only vastly different in looks but also in the way that they drive. I suppose what Honda were trying to do with this CRX is emulate Toyota and their MR2. However, to be perfectly honest, it didn't quite pay off for them. You do sit very low in this car though, it's very grippy and it almost feels a bit like driving a go-kart, and it's quick. The 1.6 VTEC engine will get you to 60 in 8 seconds and onto a top speed of 132 miles an hour. The less powerful 1.6 engine is only slightly slower in the sprint, taking 9.2 seconds and a maximum of 119 miles per hour. Prices at the moment are stable, and cars are generally to be found in private sales rather than on main dealer forecourts. A 1993 K-Reg VTEC with 75,000 miles still sets you back £4,500. A 95 N-Reg Targa Auto with 55,000 miles on the clock looks costly at £7,300. So the Honda CRX, whilst hardly being drop-dead gorgeous, is a solid investment. Depreciation is low, it's nippy, it's easy to drive, and it's quite a rare sight on our roads, and that's why we like them. And that's this week's used car tip, the Honda CRX.